Who's this?
Hi guys, Joshua Michael here.
Hello, Joshua Michael, also known as JM Truth. Paradoxically, never has a word of truth been uttered from this rapscallion cockjockey. A real-life Walter Mitty, JM claims to be a military veteran, has the cure for cancer, a Master of Science degree with the ability to overturn the entire body of work of Newton and Einstein. In reality, the closest this cloth-eared clock will come to science is by the action of the gravitational forces that the Earth provides to keep his toothpaste behind on the ground. But a man of these claimed credentials cannot go to waste, so he's been tasked to bring his genius to the forefront of scientific endeavour at SpaceX.
I want us to think from a point of reason and a point of logic, and not the modern day logic, because that's actually insanity. As you know, space and all that crap is all crazy. So if even space existed, there's no such thing as astrophysics. It's a term they conjured up to make you go, oh, astrophysics. He's a really smart, dumb guy.
So, you said a few weeks ago, when talking to Reds, that there was a 20-second discrepancy between Red's footage and SpaceX live stream of the same launch.
Come on, I'm not even discussing this.
Well, Reds has demonstrated that was false, so you're willing to admit you were wrong?
Good for Reds.
Are you willing to admit that you were wrong?
No.
Why not?
Because I know what I measured after I measured it. Videos can be changed.
That's why.
Yeah, that's a good answer, team.
I mean, I've got
you could be wrong, JM. He's demonstrated how wrong you are, and you're wrong. And now that we've demonstrated how wrong you are, you could just say, yeah, he was right. I got that one wrong, and you would have saved a lot of face instead of taking the chicken route and saying, no, there's no possible way that I could ever be wrong because I'm goddamn the master physicist, modified sniper, modified field artillery guy, and how could I ever be wrong with so many goddamn degrees? Yeah, you're wrong, and none of that matters.
I mean,
I'm wrong because you said so, team.
Well, I'm playing right now a video.
No,
that has,
you're wrong because you're wrong.
Yeah, I'm playing videos right now that contains SpaceX footage, Red's Rhetoric footage, and Astronomy Live's footage, playing directly alongside each other. Anyone can get the raw files and do this themselves. Reds and Astronomy Live are happy to present you with the raw files. And it shows that there is absolutely no 20-second discrepancy.
Anymore, correct.
I mean, there's no evidence that there ever was a 20-second discrepancy. And can I just ask you directly, did you figure out yourself that there was a 20-second discrepancy?
I don't remember if I did or if somebody pointed it out and I measured it. I don't recall that. I just know I tested it.
That's your problem. Other flat earthers are pointing it out to you, and you go, "Yeah, that sounds right. Sounds smart."
Yeah, team,
So,
do your own
if
research.
anyone,
smart guy.
if anyone
Smart
wants
guy. That's not. Hold on, Craig. That's not how I operate. I don't take people's word for. I test everything that I do. So whether you believe it or not, I don't give a fuck.
He just asked you how you on. He just asked you how you came to that conclusion, and you said, "I don't know if I came to the conclusion or someone pointing it out to me." No, you're wrong. Admit you're wrong and be a big man about it. Stop being a little whiny crybaby.
anyone who wants to see the evidence in the chat.
What I said was, I don't know if somebody pointed it out or whether I found it, but I measured it and it was 20 seconds off.
What did you measure? What did you measure?
As a perennial loser, you'd be used to saying, "I know I'm wrong by now." Okay?
I have admitted when I was wrong. When been proven to be wrong.
Okay, JM, can I just ask, when did you measure it?
We proved you're wrong.
Do you mind? I'm just asking. When did you actually measure it?
When I measured it.
Which? Yeah. What did you use to measure it? Like what videos?
It was quite a while ago. I don't know, Craig. Move on.
Right. Okay.
This doesn't prove it.
You said that Red's footage was bullshit because of the black paint on the booster.
I come up with something other than Red's footage. I'm done talking about Red.
He's got a few questions. At least it's only 3 questions.
Talking about Red. Okay.
All right. Well, I need to do this one thing then, right? All the things that you said about Red's footage, the the 20-second discrepancy, the different places that they landed, the black paint, the sky being different colours. This was all fed to you by someone who you know is
No, it
Brandon.
wasn't actually. It was not fed to me by anyone, Craig.
So you know the guy is Brandon. We all know him as negative exponents. JM, he is at the moment clipping he recorded the conversations with you, where he was talking it through, and there was actually, you were in the call with him, and you hadn't even downloaded the footage that was sent you, right? And you downloaded it, and he literally said to you, "Oh, look, they landed off, they took off and landed at different places." And you were like, "Oh yeah, how did I never spot that?" And then he told you that the sky was a different color. Then he told you there's a 20-second discrepancy. Then he told you about the black paint. Everything you brought up against Reds in that debate was fed to you by negative exponents. I have the audio files to prove that. I've listened to them, and he's getting them for me now. I've already listened to them. Why did you lie to me and say that you did it yourself?
Because Brandon didn't. Yes, Brandon fed them to me, but I found them a lot before Brandon ever even.
Not what you said. Not what you said in the calls to Brandon. Not what you said in the calls.
Yes,
No,
it
it's
is
not.
actually.
No, I've listened to it. Do you want to double down, Jen? Because I've got the evidence that you're lying.
Evidence can be manipulated, Craig.
Oh, it's fake. The flat earthers mating call.
Is that how it's going to be? Is that how it's going to be now?
I have actual evidence, Jen, that you have straight up lied to me.
Are you pissy because I've shut down? Really?
No, I'm pissed. I'm not pissy at all. I'm pointing out that you are a liar. You have lied to people about a lot of things. You are everything. I don't know if it's ego or what, right? But you can't help but lie.
You sitting here calling me a liar does not make me a liar.
No, the evidence that I can present does.
Well, no, because if you think
evidence is king. You don't know who Brandon is. You had no idea. Don't you now claim that you knew Brandon was negative exponents all along? Because you had no idea. I've listened to those conversations, you lying busted, JM. Busted. You are a liar.
You're a moron, Craig.
No, I am calling you out. You don't know the first thing about physics. I have absolutely destroyed everything you said. I've got measurements you don't. You don't even know what refraction is or how to calculate centrifugal force. You said in this debate that there's no way to calculate centrifugal force. You actually said those words. JM, you said that there's no way to calculate centrifugal force.
That is not what I said.
Yes, it is. I wrote it down.
Oh my God. You guys do not listen.
Someone please go back and clip that, because he said that.
You twist. You guys are the most.
All right. How do you calculate centrifugal force?
You guys have a great night. It was a pleasure.
How do you calculate centrifugal force?
I've had my last words and my last say. You've had your fun.
Are you going to run away, JM, before we get to finish? There's so many questions.
JM, don't run. JM, don't run. Don't run. He's asking you a basic question. How do you calculate the acceleration of an object going around in a circle? How do you calculate the acceleration of an object moving around a circle? There's a simple equation.
I have it's to do with my time.
No, you don't.
Come on, JM, please. Just guess. Just guess at the answer. Please, just guess. For the lulz, just give us a guess.
My observation is that mass appears to attract mass. Oh look, that thing goes towards that.
What are you
JM, stop!
What are you observing
Just,
where mass attracts mass?
Mass attracted mass.
That's attracting mass.
Your observation would be the same as mine, that this pen appeared to go towards the ground. There appeared to be an attraction between the pen and the ground.
That is not my observation.
So you don't observe the pen going towards the ground?
Well, yes, in a multitude
with an yeah, no. We don't talk about why yet. We don't talk about why yet. Did you observe the pen going towards the ground with an acceleration? Yes or no? Did you? That's what I'm asking. Yeah, well, I'm asking you a question. Did you observe the pen accelerating towards the ground? Yes or no?
I observed the pen, yes, falling to the ground.
Accelerating towards the ground.
But whatever you want to call it, sure. Falling, accelerating, whatever.
Yeah, they're different. Acceleration means
actually,
that
they're
there's
not. Everything that falls accelerates.
right?
Otherwise,
So what you observe is the pen accelerating towards the ground, right? Yes?
no.
What, you don't observe that the pen accelerates towards the ground?
What I observe is the pen being let go in space, and the space underneath the pen being less dense than the pen itself.
No, you've just given me a
Therefore,
hypothesis for what happens.
The pen to fall due to atmospheric pressure.
I'm trying to show you how the Cavendish experiment is a valid experiment.
Yeah, you're never going to do that because you can never show me a naturally occurring phenomenon.
I just did something accelerating towards the ground.
Greg, that's not a naturally occurring phenomenon.
Sorry, a pen accelerating towards the ground is not a naturally observing phenomenon.
Not for the Cavendish experiment, no. In order to be able to observe a phenomenon, you've got to be able to point to a naturally occurring phenomenon in nature, and that's not a natural. Okay.
Yeah, it is. It's not supernatural.
Whatever. But my point is, the apple, pen, crane, whatever, dropping to the earth has already been defined by science.
And again, that would be your hypothesis.
Falls to the ground and strikes the earth, it will continue to fall.
Yeah. Now again, that's your hypothesis based on the observation. I've told you my hypothesis.
Is not a scientific fact.
No, it's not, because it's not something that you tested following the scientific method, is it?
Actually, I have, but billions of people have tested.
Right.
Are you kidding me?
What this shows is that the density has nothing to do with what's going to happen with acceleration wise, okay? Density is one variable in the buoyancy equation. That's why when it's not in a medium, the 5 eggs will go down. However, if it's in a medium that has a higher density than the eggs, the 5 eggs will go up and the 1 egg will go down, because there is more mass for a force to act upon.
Absolutely stupid.
You don't understand it. That's the problem.
No, I know. The problem is I do understand it so much that you look like an idiot right now. Just explaining.
You're adorable. So explain to me how density is the reason.
5 eggs, therefore it went down.
Uh-huh.
You want to relate it to acceleration because you really don't understand anything about physics, bro.
Oh, really? Cool.
Calculus.
Hey, do me a favor, Jim. What's the derivative? What's the
I assume neither of you speak and or read Hebrew. I assume neither of you have even read scripture one time from cover to cover. First of all, I am not a Christian. I am, however, a man of faith and spiritual conviction. I also have spent time before the Most High. When I say that, I mean I've had a Moses moment. I'm not afraid to say that publicly because I was called by the Most High to speak truth. Now, I also have dreadlocks, as you see. I have dreadlocks on purpose. The Catholic Bible? Oh, yeah, great. Excellent. I don't read the Catholic Bible, dude. Okay? The Bible's not Catholic. The Bible isn't even really, it's a twisted book by the Romans. I get it. But their actual real scripture was real, and ancient historians have proven it true. So by holding that up doesn't show anything, Snake. Again, you're ignorant. Did you know that the word faith does not exist in scripture, in the ancient scripture, even once? The word faith didn't even exist. It was created by the Greeks and is actually a Greek god. So when you use the word faith, just so you know, you're actually calling on a Nephilim spirit. So let's just cast that down right now, okay? That is very descriptive. In fact, the ancient text was very descriptive. The reason that they changed the languages is to confuse your lying tongue. Okay? So let's also make that. I am a highly educated man as well, and I'm not big on education. Okay? But I also have a background in film, graphic design, and CGI. And what you showed everyone, by the way, was absolutely CGI and called it an actual film footage from a satellite that doesn't even exist. You just lied to the public. And I can prove that. I'm not going to do it right this second, but what you showed was not even real, dude. Not even real. And I'm telling you, with a master's degree in graphic design, you're lying. And I get really upset and frustrated when people lie to people. If you've not read or studied Hebrew, you should not be teaching. Because that's the problem. You go to school, you go to a Christian college, they give you all this indoctrination, and then you think you can just teach whatever you want. That's the problem. If any of you knew anything about faith, there wouldn't be 47,000 religions. And I'm sorry, I'm feeling the spirit right now. I guess I'm on a pedestal. I apologize. But it really grieves me because I've spent time on my knees weeping before the Most High over all of you who are walking around with blindfolds on because you can't read simple scripture. Holy crap. You don't even know it's not healthy not to eat meat. If you go read Genesis, it says I give you all seed-bearing plants for food, not meat. In fact, all of Deuteronomy's been twisted to poison you. But of course, you believe what Christians say, but the whole medical system is built to kill you, and you don't know it. I've done a laser test at 35.6 miles, which, by the way, is the world record on Earth for any civilian that I'm aware of. 35.6 miles at 4 feet off the ground. At 8 inches times mile squared, you do the math there, genius. Should I have been able to see the emitter in green? I have it on video, by the way. So when you want to argue it, I've got the proof for you. You'll see it when I bring the documentary out. Okay, can you do the math, at least to tell me what the drop should be on a globe at 35.6 miles? I can. It's 844 feet. Oh, and from point A to point B, for those of you that can't do geometry, from point A to point B, there should be a 266-foot lift between point A and point B.
And that's
I should not
about
be able to see the
time.
at all, because there's a 266-foot wall in between me, the camera, and the laser. Okay, first of all, Hebrew is the first language we've ever had. So, no, it was not vague. It was actually very specific. They taught you as a Christian it was vague so they could lie to you. I'll explain.
All right, can I explain what you're missing?
When was gravity created? Sorry, Nathan.
Go ahead.
When was gravity created? Do you know? Because it wasn't around forever, and Einstein did not create gravity. That is actually an absolute lie taught in school. It is not true. And there's no historical basis for it. And I've got a graduate degree, so if you want to argue with me, go ahead. But you better pull up some goddamn references.
Again, from my angle, gravity was created at the conception of the universe. It's when did we discover it? Same with microbiology. When did we discover it? That's not when it was created. It always existed. It just took us a while to catch up.
Except you cannot acknowledge that in the Bible, actually, there's more argument, actually in Hebrew, because you don't speak Hebrew or even read Hebrew, for actually a flat Earth model than there ever is for a global. In fact, there's 4 corners of the Earth. The angels stand at 4 corners. The Ruah, the Raki, which is actually the dome, it says, is a mirrored glass, is what it says in Hebrew.
It's really interesting that your God would require someone to speak a dead language to understand basic truths of reality.
That is an argument.
And by the way, I have read scripture cover to cover, just so you know.
Wait, you say you have?
I would.
I have.
You have
I
not.
would.
Yes, I have.
Absolutely.
All right, let's. I think that's.
I haven't gone to the North Pole, and travel to the North Pole is restricted. It's basically like asking me to go in the closet, walk into Narnia, and prove that Narnia is
Actually, it is.
Neither the North Pole or the South Pole are restricted.
I have the
You can
North
go visit
Pole.
them.
I have the North. I've got
just
the North
patently doesn't
Pole.
always let me.
Yeah, this is actually ridiculous. I actually have the document.
This is
where
real.
actually
Okay, Nathan and Jam Truth, you're interrupting each other.
It is this thick, and you've got to go through 20 different agencies. Now, I also spent 12 years in the military and can tell you it's built that way to keep you from being able to do so. Because I had a security clearance, and that's how it works, dude. For the physics specialist here, Snake. And I've done physics. I've studied physics much more, I'm sure, than you have, based on my age. And I'm not trying to brag or say, hey, look at me. I'm just saying, based on how old you look, I've even taught physics. You can't create a vacuum without a sealed container. Now, that is basic elementary physics. Yet they want you to believe that there's a vacuum outside of the Earth, and the air on the Earth, which has a positive pressure of what is it, 7.14 something pounds of pressure at sea level, does not pass the the carbon line due to gravity. The problem is gravity doesn't explain that. Physics is the only thing that explains the second law of thermodynamics, that is, the fact that you have to have a sealed container to hold in all pressure, positive and or negative, or higher or lower pressure.
That's why.
Let me finish. The only way to create that is in a sealed container. Now, the modern day science will tell you gravity holds that to the Earth, but you cannot go in any scientific lab and prove that. I would give $10,000 to anybody who could demonstrate that through the scientific method to me. $10,000 is yours.
If you have a closed lid or just an open lid like
Actually,
a cup.
Science.
JM, we're gonna let Snake finish. You got about 30 more seconds, Snake, and then we're gonna kick it. JM, are you serious right now?
Yeah, James, because you're letting this.
Like, I'm gonna let him finish. That's right. So we're gonna let him finish.
I've done enough by the way, if you're gonna use the word empirical, please know what that word means. Let me, and I don't mean to be an ass here, but I hear that all the time. Empirical data is written data that has been proven by science. Okay? That is called empirical data. I have 17 NASA documents that are empirical data because they say NASA explains and admits Earth is flat and not rotating. Now, Snake, you can argue that till the cows come home, but you can't argue with me because you are not authorized to argue for NASA.
Oh, so, yeah, well, NASA, you're not either.
I'm presenting to you what NASA has already admitted. But because you can't accept it, you have to argue it away.
Frank lie.
That is an assumption on your part.
No, it's not. It's because I've done physics.
I've actually taken physics, obvious unlike you, because you don't even know the basics.
I just told you I take physics.
Well, if you've taken the basics of physics, how do you not know what the density table is? I don't understand that.
You're gonna lecture me about physics when you don't believe in gravity.
Do one.
Okay, so see, Nathan, this is why I walked away 2 years ago, because I'm just not here to argue with people that have power taking. Hey, Snake, just so you know who you're talking to, Nathan was almost a neurosurgeon.
Nathan, where did you do your undergraduate study before medical school? Then after, where did you do your internship and residency? JM's Truth said you were almost a neurosurgeon.
I said he had the intellect of almost a neurosurgeon, is what I said, actually. If you don't know what I said, I just said the Lord's Prayer and blessing over you, both, because I want truth here, and truth and love. I also have spent time before the Most High. When I say that, I mean I've had a Moses moment. I'm not afraid to say that publicly, because I was called by the Most High to speak truth. I have 4 kids. I'm responsible for teaching them truth. Why? Because the society of what you showed was not even real, dude. Not even real. And I'm telling you, with a master's degree in graphic design, you're lying. And I get really upset and frustrated when people lie to people.
So, with JM's guidance, we can be safe in the knowledge that today's launch will be one to remember. Crowds have arrived to enjoy the spectacle, including Red's rhetoric. Look, there he is. So, without further ado, let's hand over to Reds as he records this historic moment.
Lift off. See it?
Stop debating flat Earth. Flat Earth is not a debate, folks. Flat Earth is a science topic, and you don't debate science.